Hey, what's up, guys? This is George Shamoun. I have a weird setup here. I hope you can hear me. I have the ear sets and I have the phone sideways. I'm not at my computer now. Uh, so in this video, I just had the thumbnail and some text on it. I'm gonna talk about the difference between a domain name and web hosting and WordPress. I have some bullet point here, so I'm gonna be looking at them. That's why I'm gonna be turning my face left and right, up and down. So, domain name, web hosting. I'm gonna talk about WordPress. So this is just like talking now. I'm not gonna show you any screens. In the future, I'll make more videos to show you the screens on my computer. But now, just it's a talking head. So if you want to start your website and it's going to be your first website and you're not sure where to start from, you will need certain elements that you cannot avoid. The first one is your domain name. The domain name is when you type in a URL www.suchandsuch.com. For example, my website uh, www.georgekcwebservices.com. This is my domain. So the domain you have to see if it's available first, and you do that with a service called the domain name registrar. Those services they tell you if the domain you're looking for is available or not. Let's say uh, I wanna create a website and I wanna use george.com. So I'm gonna jump to one of the domain registrar, and the way you find those services, just go to the internet and search domain name registration, and you get a lot of them. Uh, so once you get to any one of those services, you enter the domain name to see if it's available. If it's available, they tell you it's available. You can register it, you can use it. So you have to pay certain fees per year on it to keep it. And if it's not available, they give you other choices, similar but not exactly the same, because you cannot use it. Somebody else is using it. So this is the domain name. So the domain name you need it. It doesn't matter what service, what web hosting, what hosted services you're using. You need a domain name. So this is the domain name is out of the way. The second one, now, what happens if you don't use a domain name? If you don't use a domain name, you can get a free web page. Some services that give you free web pages, but you can be using their domain, not your domain. So that doesn't make sense to me. If you want to establish your name or brand online, you have to have your own domain. So the second one is web hosting. You hear a lot about web hosting, and web hosting, it's a term that encompasses and covers a lot of areas. So uh, let me start, uh, going through some details and sorting out when do you use it and what services you need and when you don't need it. First, what is a web host? A web host is a service that hosts your website, which consists of pictures, text, images, files, etc. So you need a place on the internet to host your website, like when you upload a picture, when you add a text. Those are reside on a computer called a web server, and those web servers are they belong to a company or organization called web hosting. The web hosting, they have so many services like computers, web servers, DNS, etc. And that this is where your website will be hosted. So everybody needs some kind of web hosting. Now, the web hosting will differ from place to another in that you can buy separate web hosting and you can upload a theme or a website or or you can buy a pre-hosted websites or services platforms like, let's say, uh, Weebly, Wix, Shopify, Squarespace. Those guys, they have the web hosting built in a service, so you don't have to worry about web hosting and where to buy it. If you go to Squarespace or Wix or Weebly, you just sign up with them, and they already have everything for you. You don't have to worry about web hosting, but they have. You have obviously to buy the service from them, and you have to pay monthly fees, but you don't worry about web hosting. They already have the web hosting with their platform. Um, so these are the cases like Wix, Weebly, Webflow, Shopify. Those, you just sign up with them, and they also have the domain registration. They can register the domain for you, and some of them will give you 1 year for free. So now, when do you worry about getting your own web hosting? If you don't want to use Shopify, Squarespace, Wix, and Weebly, those pre-built themes for you, or pre-built ready to make websites, who have they already have the web hosting embedded with their platform, you have to worry about it if you're not using any of those. And example, in my case now, my website, georgekcwebservices.com, uh, because I'm not using those platforms, I'm using my own web hosting. I want to get my own web hosting, own website. I need to have certain customization to it, and I'm using Hostinger. Hostinger Web Hosting. It's a web hosting company, and it's not the only one. There are a lot of them. Just type in when you search on the internet web hosting, and you get a lot of those. They have like hundreds or thousands of them all over the places. So I used many of those before. I used iPage, Emotion hosting, web hosting. I used A2 hosting. I used a lot of them. They're all good. They give you all the options you need in the beginning. If you are a beginner, they got everything for you. So this is a web hosting. So you go to the, how do you register for web hosting and domain name? And what's good, the most of those web hosting, they already have domain name registration. You don't have to go to a separate service to get your domain registered. You can register a domain name with any of those services, whether you're going for an independent web hosting or the hosted services like Wix, Weebly, etc. So that's what it is. So you just pick which one you want, which package you want. If you go to the website, the web host home page, and you look at the tiers, they give you like package one, two, three, each one what it has. The one I got with Hostinger is the not the first one, the entry level. I got the second one, which is I think the business. So so you go check out the site and you see what they need if you're interested in joining, getting a web hosting. So and once if you get a web hosting and you're not going with Squarespace and Shopify and those guys, you can have either your own theme or your own programming, or you can use the website builder available in most web hosting nowadays. They have website builder. You can use it for free. Some of them give you that for free. You can. It's only a drag and drop. It's for somebody who doesn't want to deal with programming and coding. So that's a good way. And you can also buy themes, already made themes, and you can upload them to the site. Uh, so this is what the domain name is and the web hosting is. So you need both. You need both, unless you're using Squarespace, Weebly, Shopify, those guys. You don't worry about the web hosting because they already have the web hosting embedded, invisible to you, but it exists. It's there. It's embedded with their platform. So it's not that it doesn't exist. It exists because you still need some computer servers or some web servers to add your to keep your files, to use the files that make up your website. You have to have that, you know. So another term I want to go over is and please note those are for somebody who's starting new. If you already know web development and you've done this before or you built a website before, you can be familiar with all of those, you know. This is for somebody who's starting new, who are planning to make a website themselves or hire somebody, and they're not familiar with the terms and the services and they don't know what they need. So this will help you. Now, next is WordPress. You hear a lot about WordPress, and the term it's interchangeably used with the web hosting. Sometimes they tell you WordPress web hosting, sometimes WordPress, sometimes web hosting only. Most web hosting, in the independent ones, again, we're not talking about the platform I discussed before. The independent ones, they have the capability of installing WordPress for you, and some of them have already WordPress servers, optimized for WordPress. So WordPress is a platform. It's a content management system, and it's a platform based on PHP programming, the back end. And what happened when you install? You have to install WordPress in your web hosting account, and sometimes it's very easy with the click of a button they make it available to you. Install WordPress. All what you have to do to enter your credential and password, and you have it installed. And sometimes you have to ask them to install it for you, but usually it's easy. It's not that difficult. And in certain web hosting, they already have WordPress set up on servers. It's called, I think, managed WordPress servers. You can use those for WordPress, but it's more expensive, the web hosting fees. So basically, WordPress is good if you want to keep adding content to your website all the time. You want to log in, add a content. You just have to use the dashboard. You can log in the dashboard and you can add a page, you can add a folder, and you don't have to do any programming or any coding. It's already built in the system. It's user friendly, but it's not easy to get used to the dashboard. It takes time to learn WordPress. It took me a while to learn it, but it's not that difficult if you focus on it. So, but in the beginning, if you're starting new, I would not use WordPress because it's gonna be more difficult than the website builder that I'm using, because that one is like only drag and drop, and you can add your text, your pictures and videos and other items, contact form, etc. So I like the website builder for somebody new. That's what I'm using now. You don't have to deal with codes, even though I'm learning codes. But I don't wanna start a website using codes. It's gonna take forever to finish. So that's it for this video. If you're interested in making a site, or I have my the link in the description, the link to my website. And this website, georgekcwebservices.com, I built it using an independent web hosting, which is Hostinger, and I registered the domain with them, and I'm using their free website builder now. And if you go to the main page of hostinger.com, you can see everything you need there, and check it out. And if you have any questions, submit it in a comment, or if you have any questions, you can uh, submit your question using the contact form on my website, and the link to the website is in the description. Go there and add your questions if you have any questions. And if you need my help, let me know. Uh, I can help you here, like, answering you or by email. And if you're interested in getting one of those services, let me know and I can help you. with some information, you know. So again, this is George Shamoun, and I want to thank you for watching, whether you're watching it now or in the future. And if you have any questions, let me know. Thank you.